Hello friends, so we are back with the part 2 of dental caries and coming to the classification. Classification is based on different criteria according to occurrence. It can be initial caries, incipient, then recurrent caries which occur again and again under the restoration, and the residual caries is the remnant caries which occurs after the removal of the caries. Then according to speed, it can be acute, which is for the short duration of the time, and the chronic caries, which is for the longer duration of the time. Then according to location, it can involve pit and fissure of the tooth. Then if it involves the smooth surface, then it is smooth surface caries, and if it involves the root, then it is root caries. Then according to direction, it can be forward caries and the backward caries. Forward caries are those caries in which the base of the triangle is at the dentino-enamel junction and apex is at the advancing front, whereas the backward caries, there is small apex and the destruction is at the DEJ. Then according to age, it can be early childhood caries involving caries of the children, then adolescent caries which occurs in the adulthood, and then the senile caries which occurs at very old age. Then according to the surface, it can be simple caries, compound caries and complex caries. Simple caries involve only one surface of the tooth, compound caries involve the two surfaces of the tooth, and complex caries occur more than the two surfaces of the tooth. Then according to the type of surfaces, it can involve the occlusal surface or it can involve the proximal surface. So based on this, we can classify the different type of dental caries. Now coming to the theories of dental caries, first is Legend of Worm theory. Legend of Worm theory was given by ancient Sumerian. He stated that the main factor of the dental caries is worm. Infestation of worm inside the tooth leads to the dental caries. Then second is the humoral theory. It stated that there are four humor of the body like blood, phlegm, black bile and yellow bile. Imbalance in any of the four humor can leads to the disease or the carious process. Then third is the vital theory given by Gallo. It stated that the tooth decay is like a vital gangrene like process. Discontinuation in the vitality of the structure, then it may leads to the carious process. Then fourth is the chemical theory given by Robertson, which stated that the caries is a chemical process in which there is chemical demineralization occur. Then next is the parasitic theory. He examined that the microorganisms are responsible for the dental caries. He scraped some sample from the decayed part and found that microorganisms are responsible for dental caries. Then Miller chemoparasitic theory given by Miller in 1889, who stated that the chemical reaction and the microorganism both are responsible for the carious process. Then coming to the next theory, that is proteolytic theory given by Gottlieb in 1947. He stated that the microorganism invade the organic path of the enamel and initiate the caries by proteolytic action. Then next is the proteolysis chelation theory given by Schwarz in 1955, who stated that microbial degradation of the organic component and dissolution of the mineral of the tooth by process of chelation. Then next is the sulfatase theory given by Pincus in 1950, who states that the bacterial sulfatase hydrolyze the mucinetase sulfate of the enamel and the chondroitin sulfate of the dentine produce a sulfuric acid which result in the decalcification of the tooth. Then the next theory is complexing and phosphorylase theory, which stated that the high bacterial utilization of phosphate in the plaque cause local disturbance in the phosphate equilibrium in plaque, resulting in loss of phosphate from the enamel. Then the next is sucrose chelation theory given by Egler and Lura in 1967, who stated that not the other component but sucrose itself cause the dissolution of the tooth structure and leads to the cavitation of the tooth. Then the last theory is autoimmunity theory, which stated that the body immunity is responsible for the development of the dental caries. So this was all about development of caries based on different theories and assumptions. Different authors had given different model which explain the process of caries. So we will discuss now about different caries model. Now coming to the various caries model, the first is Keyes model given by Keyes and Jordan in 1960. They stated that the caries occur because of the three major factor. First is tooth or the tooth, second is flora, and third is substrate or the carbohydrate, which leads to the caries. Later in 1982, Newbron added the fourth factor, which is time. So this is the carious process which occurs because of the continuous activity of the microorganism on the substrate or the carbohydrate on the tooth surface. So the major factor for the dental caries is plaque, microorganism and the carbohydrate. So this is the new model, Newbron. The fourth factor, time, was added. Then there is another model in which the saliva was added as a additional factor, in which the tooth flora and substrate are same, and the extra factor which is added was saliva, in which the salivary component like buffering action, pH of the saliva and the flow rate of the saliva also determine the dental caries. In my last seminar, I have already discussed the demineralization remineralization cycle which leads to the development of dental caries. So coming to the Stephan's curve, it was given by Stephan and Miller in 1944, and it determines the decrease in pH following the glucose rinse. He stated that the continuous change in salivary pH following the consumption of food and beverages, especially the fermentable carbohydrates, leads to the formation of dental caries. Stephan took several patients and he asked the subject to not to brush 3 to 4 days prior to the test. Then on the day of the test, he asked the patient to rinse their oral cavity with 10 ml of 10% of glucose for 10 seconds. After that, he checked the pH of the saliva. There were 4 major landmarks: resting pH, rapid fall in pH, critical pH and recovery pH. As you can see in this picture, this is the neutral pH where the patient started, and here the patient took the sugar, and this black part is below the critical pH, that is 5.5, where the demineralization occur, and after around 20 to 30 minutes the remineralization occur. So the resting pH is the pH before the test, then the rapid fall in pH is after the glucose rinse, then the critical pH is when the pH fall below the 5.5. So here the critical pH was 5.5, and then the recovery pH, which increases after the demineralization occur, but it does not reach to the normal. So the pH of the saliva decreases after the sugar intake and it doesn't become neutral even after 20 to 30 minutes of the glucose intake. So this curve is very important for examination point of view. I hope you will like this video and comment down your next topic so that I can make a new video on new topic. And the correct answer is Stephan curve is based on pH of plaque and time.